After 8 years of marriage, Anna finally agreed to take our long overdue wedding photos on my birthday. Yet, on the day itself, she broke her promise once again. That night, someone anonymously sent me a link to a forum post she had written. Married for 8 years and fell out of love. How do I get him to bring up divorce first? People in the comments offered her advice. Make him hate you. Give him the cold shoulder. Hurt him with small things, and let the disappointment pile up bit by bit. Once he's disappointed enough, he'll leave on his own. She replied to one of them. Tried that. He's like a sticky plaster, I just can't shake him off. So that's how it is. I didn't scream hysterically, nor did I break down and demand answers. I decided to grant her wish. When Anna returned, I was in the courtyard watching fireworks. She handed me a bouquet of white roses. I missed your birthday because of a business trip last week. I'm sorry. She was lying. That day, she was in Japan watching fireworks with her lover. Billy, happy birthday. Her tone was unusually gentle. In the past, hearing her speak like this would have moved me to tears. Now, looking at the blooming fireworks, I said nothing. Anna paused, then pulled an exquisite box from the flowers and held it up to me. It was the brand name watch I had wanted when we first got married. But we were strapped for cash back then, so I couldn't bear to buy it. I finally managed to buy the watch you wanted during this trip abroad. Do you like it? I turned my face to look at her and chuckled softly. Did the fireworks at the festival look good? Anna's face changed instantly, her body freezing in place. My phone suddenly popped up with 2 messages. One was from an old friend of my mother, my piano teacher. Billy, you haven't played in many years due to your hand injury. Starting over will require a huge price, and success isn't guaranteed. Are you sure you want to play again? Please reconsider. It will be too difficult for you. I'm afraid you'll be in pain later. I replied quickly, I've thought it through. I'll be troubling you from now on. The other was from Jenny, my childhood friend. Billy, I heard you're preparing for a comeback. I know a hospital that specializes in physical therapy for musicians. When are you free? I'll take you there. I used to be the teacher's proudest student. I started learning piano at 3, received professional music education, and won numerous awards in international piano competitions. Until one business dinner, where I blocked a red wine bottle thrown at Anna. It injured my left hand. Every time I practiced for too long, it would hurt. After half an hour, severe pain would radiate through my whole body. I tried all kinds of rehabilitation, but stopped due to the unbearable pain. When I broke down in the hospital, Anna hugged me, her eyes red, apologizing over and over again. Billy, it's all my fault. I will treat you well for the rest of my life. I won't let you get hurt again. In the end, I gave up music. I became a full-time house husband, managing the household for Anna. She said she wouldn't let me get hurt, but in the end, all the pain came from her. When I married Anna, there was no wedding, no dowry, not even decent rings. All there was her promise to treat me well forever. Married for 8 years, she went from a poor student to a company president, yet we didn't even have a single wedding photo. After begging for a long time, she finally agreed to make it up to me on my birthday. But that day, wearing my suit, I waited all day only to receive a message saying, something came up at the company, have to go on a business trip. I called her. The phone connected for a second, then immediately turned off. The photographer noticed my embarrassment and said we could shoot another time. Awkwardly, I took off the suit and left under the strange gazes of others. On the ride home, watching young couples laughing and chasing each other on bicycles through the window, I remembered the past with Anna. That was when we first got together. We rode bicycles through the crowds, past blooming flowers, heading toward the sunset. She would pedal and shout, Anna, will love Billy forever. Rather than forever, I prefer every single day with you. I withdrew my gaze and opened my phone. Anna's call finally connected. A clear male voice came from the other end. Hello, Ms. Booth is in a meeting. She will reply to you later. Before I could speak, the phone was hung up. Suddenly, I received an anonymous text message. The message contained only a link. Clicking it led to a question post. Married for 8 years and fell out of love. How do I get him to bring up divorce first? My heart skipped a beat. I clicked on the user's homepage. The page was full of photos of fireworks festivals, with the location tagged in Japan. I scrolled down and found a photo of two people kissing under a sky full of fireworks. The caption read, "Fireworks festivals should be spent with the one you love." The woman's face wasn't clear, but she was wearing the exact same clothes as Anna. I knew the man. His name was Mike, Anna's assistant. Trembling, I switched back to the question post. My husband has been with me for many years and suffered through the hard times. Now life is good, but I met my true love. I don't want to miss out, nor do I want a messy fight with my husband. How can I make him initiate the divorce so we can part on good terms? Met her true love. I pulled the corners of my mouth, finding it laughable. When she pursued me back then, she also said I was her true love. The comments section was mostly cursing her. Truly ungrateful. The last person you should let down is the one who walked with you through your lowest points. She replied, precisely because he witnessed my shameful past, he should disappear along with those dark days. Tears dripped onto the screen. I wiped them away, my trembling fingertips scrolling down. Someone actually gave her ideas. The simple, make him hate you, give him the cold shoulder, hurt him with small things, and let the disappointment pile up bit by bit. Once he's disappointed enough, he'll leave on his own. She replied to one, tried that. He's like a sticky plaster, I just can't shake him off. My heart sank violently, as if instantly submerged in freezing seawater. My shaking hand could barely hold the phone. A year ago, Anna suddenly seemed to become a different person. She started coming home late for no reason. She wouldn't reply to my messages or answer my calls. On the rare occasions she came home, she would pick fights over trivial matters. The soup was too salty. The porridge was too thin. The rice was cold. She questioned me over and over. What is wrong with you? You can't even do these small things, right? Anna had developed stomach problems from irregular eating during her startup days. For her health, I had been trying every method to regulate her diet. She used to love the food I cooked. I couldn't figure out why. I fell into self-doubt, thinking it was my fault. I was so sad I would cry alone. Seeing me down, Anna would apologize again, saying the pressure was too high recently, things were annoying, and hoped I would understand. Before long, the same things would happen again. During that time, even my breathing seemed wrong. I fell into self-doubt, being cautious everywhere, yet still worrying about Anna's health. Later, she started missing our anniversaries, always making promises, then disappointing me time and again. Every time, she said work was too busy and asked for my understanding. I understood her, but my anxiety kept me awake at night. Countless nights, I turned my back to her, watching the moonlight outside the window, my chest aching with dull pain. Turned out all of that was intentional. This year is our 10th year together. The forever she spoke of was only 10 years. The fireworks burned out. Anna finally spoke. What are you talking about? She tried her best to look confused, but her acting was truly clumsy. I dug my nails into my palm to keep my voice calm. There was a fireworks festival in Japan this time. Didn't you watch it? Anna let out a quiet sigh of relief and shook her head. It was too rushed this time, I didn't go. As if realizing something, she took my hand. I was wondering why you were suddenly setting off fireworks. So it was because of this. I'll take you next year. I pulled my hand away. I can't go. Anna was puzzled. Why? You used to say you wanted to go. My wish for my 20th birthday was to go to a fireworks festival with Anna. But we didn't have the money then. That night, Anna took me to the lakeside and set off fireworks for me. Fireworks bloomed one after another in the sky, reflecting brilliantly in the lake water. Back then, Anna held me tightly. She said, "In the future, I will definitely take you to Japan to see the fireworks festival." At that moment, I really felt happy. Thinking back now, what Anna set off were just small, barely colorful fireworks. But every time I remembered it, it felt like a grand display. It was my love for Anna that added a filter to that memory. Without the filter, it was nothing. I smiled, releasing my clenched fists as if letting go. I've been permanently banned from entering Japan. Anna looked confused. How could you be permanently banned? When you asked your assistant to apply for my visa before, the documents were falsified, which resulted in me being unable to go to Japan. I stopped smiling. Did you forget? She hesitated for a moment, then realized. I asked my assistant to handle it. He applied for a business visa instead of a tourist visa for you. He really can't do even small things right. Over these years, she often took Mike to Japan, while I never had the chance. She used this method to completely cut off any possibility of me going there. There are beautiful fireworks festivals in China too. I'll take you when I have time. Just as she finished speaking, her phone rang. After glancing at the screen, she hung up. Billy, it's cold outside. Let's go in. I turned to walk back. Behind me, Anna answered the phone again. I couldn't hear what she said, but her tone was extremely gentle. After hanging up, Anna walked inside. Billy, something came up at the company. I have to go over there. She took my hand, put the watch on my wrist, and smiled. Fits well. I'll probably be very late. You go to sleep first, don't wait for me. I gave a generic mum. Even without her saying it, I wouldn't wait for her. Anna left the house. I followed her out. Anna's car stopped by the seaside. She got out and took a large bouquet of white roses from the trunk. She walked forward a bit, and a figure in a white shirt appeared. Wow, white roses. Mike took the flowers and hugged her. Wifey, I missed you. Anna held him, standing on tiptoe to kiss his cheek. We haven't been apart that long. And you miss me already? The man smiled at her. I miss you every minute and every second. If only you could get a divorce. Anna patted his head. Soon. The night breeze gently swayed the hem of Mike's white shirt. A bone-deep pain permeated my entire body. I remembered how Anna's trench coat used to flutter in the wind. Even in my most painful and anxious moments, I never thought of leaving her. I naively thought I could prove everyone who opposed our marriage wrong. Years later, that slap landed on my own face. It really hurt. Bang! A loud noise interrupted my thoughts. Fireworks soared into the air, their colorful lights illuminating the entire night sky. The fireworks were dazzling, the stars twinkling, brilliant and dreamlike. Anna rubbed his head. You've always talked about the fireworks festival, so I prepared this for you. Do you like it? Mike kissed her. I love it. Anna looked at him. As long as you want, I will always set off fireworks for you. She had said that sentence to me, too, under those small, barely colorful fireworks. I really thought that moment was forever. Fireworks are fleeting, but love is eternal. I wiped away my tears and took off the watch Anna had put on my wrist. Love is indeed eternal, but the object of that love changes in an instant. In the torrent of time, the Anna I loved, the one wearing a trench coat, who said she would love me forever, was already dead. I closed my eyes and called Anna. The moment the phone rang, the two embracing people separated as if electrocuted. Anna hesitated for a moment before answering the phone. Mike angrily shook her off, but Anna grabbed him again. Billy, what's wrong? I said hoarsely, Anna, my hand hurts. Anna paused. Why does your hand hurt suddenly? Go see a doctor tomorrow. I asked. Can you accompany me? Anna paused again. I have to go on a business trip. I slowly curled up the corners of my mouth, tears sliding down my cheeks. Your birthday is coming soon. Can you not go on a business trip that day? I've been learning to make cakes recently, and I've prepared a birthday gift for you. Ms. Booth, Mike deliberately raised his voice and shouted, Mr. Wong is here. There was a sly smile on his lips. Many times when I called her, I would hear his voice. So they were together all those times. Anna paused. I think I can. Mike shook off her hand again. Anna hurriedly grabbed him and replied to me, I have something to do. I'm hanging up first. She hung up directly, not hearing the last sentence I said. You will like it. The birthday gift I'm giving you. My teacher was right, practicing piano after a hand injury is indeed painful. Every time I touched the keys, the fingers of my left hand curled up in pain. Pain, frustration, despair. I couldn't stop the tears from flowing. My teacher also advised me to give up. But this is the career I have always loved. I had tried to make a comeback before, but I couldn't even play a coherent piece. I could no longer perform on stage. Anna comforted me. It's okay. I will always be your audience. She bought a piano for the house. She said as long as I played it, she liked it. But later, she dismantled that piano and built a glass cabinet. It was densely packed with stuffed dolls. She said seeing the dolls would make me happy. But actually, those were all dolls she caught with Mike. During this time, an anonymous number kept sending me photos. Like the back view of Anna playing the crane game. Like photos of Anna sleeping. A dense pain surged up from the bottom of my heart. I hurt so much I almost suffocated. I called Mike directly. Why all the anonymous calls? You're already the third party. Are you afraid I'll find out? He laughed brightly. I want you to know. We've been together for 2 years. Every time she came home late or went on a business trip, she was keeping me company. She says you are gentle and considerate, but too boring. Since she doesn't love you anymore, you'd better initiate the divorce yourself, to save the remaining merit of being gentle and considerate. After speaking, he hung up. I was shaking with anger. Jenny suddenly walked in. Billy, your favorite black truffle cake. She held the cake in front of me. Eat something sweet, you'll feel better. I took a bite, but the sweetness in my mouth couldn't suppress the bitterness in my heart. Taking a deep breath, I sat back on the piano bench. Using the rehabilitation method taught by my teacher, engaging my back and arm to exert force together, I relearned how to play again and again. Finally, I could play a piece coherently. When I walked out of the practice room, Jenny was still waiting at the door. She held up a medicinal patch in her hand. A pain relief secret recipe I got from an old doctor. Want to try it? I looked at her for a long time and said thank you. To help me recover, she had thought of many ways. She smiled. What's there to thank? We grew up together. On Anna's birthday, I went to the school. The school's layout hadn't changed. Outside the piano room, ivy had covered the window. A girl peeked inside cautiously through the window. Inside the piano room, a boy's fingers were brushing over the black and white keys. Beautiful melodies flowed slowly through the air. For a moment, I seemed to see the past of Anna and me. I met Anna in the summer of 10th grade. Every day when I went to the piano room to practice, there would be a gardenia flower on the keys. I didn't know who sent it, until one afternoon, I arrived a bit earlier, and there was no gardenia on the keys. The curtains were half drawn. Driven by some impulse, I walked over and pulled them open, only to meet Anna's eyes outside the window. Her face instantly flushed red, clutching the gardenia in her hand tightly. I was stunned. The previous flowers, were they from you? She bit her lower lip and handed the flower to me. For you. The flower was fresh, dew still on its petals. Sunlight spilled onto the floor through the thin white gauze, leaving mottled shadows. Later, I started unconsciously paying attention to her. She was a student on financial aid. When speaking to people, she dared not lift her head and had no friends. In the cafeteria, I carried my tray and walked up to her. I asked, "Can I sit here?" Gasps erupted around us. She looked at me in astonishment, blushing as she nodded. Later, I saved her from being bullied. She became my little shadow. With my help, she slowly shed the inferiority ingrained in her bones. Later, she plucked up the courage to confess to me. She said the language of gardenia is eternal love. Walking out of the school gate, I met Mike. He looked at me, smiling brightly. "Hello, senior." The first time I met him, he was timidly calling me Mr. Smith. Back then, Anna mentioned him to me, saying seeing him was like seeing her sensitive, inferior former self. Mike stepped closer to me. "Did you see the link I sent you?" I suppressed the impulse inside me and walked past him. He followed me relentlessly. "You can really endure, huh? Not divorcing her even after this. She doesn't love you anymore. Your persistence is meaningless. Do you think if you ignore me, it didn't happen? Stop deceiving yourself." Walking to a deserted alley outside the school, I finally looked at him. He sneered as if he had succeeded. "Want to talk to me about morals? Let me tell you, in love, the one not being loved is the third party." Before he finished speaking, I had already raised my hand high and slapped him. I had wanted to slap him for a long time, but there were cameras at the school gate. Mike stumbled back a step, almost losing his balance. I slapped him again immediately. As I prepared to hit him again, Mike stumbled backward. You just wait. When I returned home, Anna had already arrived. On the cabinet in the entryway lay 2 concert tickets. I picked them up and looked. Are you going to a concert? Anna walked over and hurriedly snatched the tickets away. Clients want to see it. She glanced at me guiltily. I wanted to get an extra ticket to take you with me, but tickets are hard to get, so I only got 2. I smiled. It doesn't matter. I have something to do that day too. Anna seemed to breathe a sigh of relief, her gaze falling on the birthday cake I was holding. Did you make the cake yourself? I gave a hum of affirmation. I bought it on the way back. I just opened it and repackaged it. When Anna was making a wish, her phone suddenly rang. She quickly blew out the candles, wanting to answer the phone. I stopped her, scooped up a spoonful of cake, and held it to her mouth. Taste it. Anna took a bite. The next second, her expression changed, and she spat out the cake. Inside the bright red strawberry jam, a cold silver light glinted. It was a needle. Anna was shocked and looked at me in panic. What is going on? I smiled. You only ate one. Guess if there are more needles in the cake. Anna slammed the table, angry. Billy, are you crazy? I placed the divorce agreement prepared by the lawyer on the table. Your birthday gift. Sign for it. Anna was stunned. What do you mean? I sneered. Stop acting. I saw the posts you made. I'm fulfilling your wish by initiating the divorce. Are you happy? Post? Anna looked at her phone in panic. Didn't I hide it? How could? She swallowed hard and looked up at me. You really want to divorce me? I exposed her bluntly. Funny, why do you look like that? Isn't this what you always wanted? By the way, you are the party at fault for cheating during the marriage. The divorce agreement stipulates that the majority of the asset division goes to me. If you don't agree, see you in court. After considering it, contact my lawyer. The next day, Anna agreed to the divorce agreement. In the coffee shop next to the school, she stirred the coffee in her cup and smiled self-mockingly. I remember the first time I came here, you brought me. She looked up at me. I had never drunk coffee before. I was afraid you would tell, so I tried my best to pretend I knew how to drink it, even though it was bitter. But later I found out you didn't care at all. Later, I tried my best to get close to you, worked hard to become excellent, and fought desperately to become someone of status. I succeeded, but every time I see you, I remember that dark past. I gave a flat O and looked at her mockingly. So you cheated? When you thought of that past, why didn't you think of the bento I brought you when you were hungry at school, the reserve funds my dad secretly gave me that I gave to you during your startup, and how I stood up for you when you were bullied? An ingrate is an ingrate. Don't make these disgusting excuses. Anger tinged Anna's face. After so long, you are still the same, looking down from above. Just because of what you did for me back then. Do I owe you forever? Achung is very much like the old me. He says he isn't stingy with effort and isn't afraid of hard work. He only hopes to be worthy of me. I don't need to accommodate or please him. I can enjoy the feeling of being looked up to. I couldn't help laughing. Do you think if he met the old you, he would still love you? Anna froze for a moment and didn't answer. Love has always been equal. It is your pitiful and pathetic self-esteem that insists on distinguishing high from low. Admit it, your character is just inferior. You shift your affections once you succeed, and change your heart once you have money. I stood up and splashed the coffee on her. Anna, someone like you deserves to rot in the mud for the rest of your life. The divorce procedures went quickly. I held 70% of the company shares, which were all converted into cash. I also took 70% of the savings. Most of the real estate was left to me as well. When dividing the property, Mike called Anna to make a scene. She just calmly hung up the phone and looked at me. You hurt your hand, so you can't do those basic survival jobs. I hope this money allows you to live well in the future. I looked at her carelessly. This is divided according to the law. Not making you leave with nothing is already generous. Don't act deeply affectionate here. As for how I do in the future, it has nothing to do with you. Anna's face turned pale. After she packed her things and left, I started cleaning out my own stuff. There were too many memories of us in this house. I prepared to sell it. During the process of tidying up the house, I remained calm until I saw the 100 love letters she had written to me. My heart felt like it was torn apart in an instant, pain spreading through my entire body. For a moment, I couldn't stand steady and could only squat down, trembling all over. Tears fell uncontrollably. I bit my lip until it bled so I wouldn't make a sound. The 18-year-old Anna was insecure, but brave in loving me. Even if it might have ended in nothing, she insisted on writing me love letters. Inside every letter, there was a dried flower she had made. Even after we got together, she still wrote me love letters. Back then, she said when we were old, we could read those letters again and still be moved to tears, hearts fluttering. But fireworks are fleeting, and gardenias wither forever. I squatted on the ground for a long time, finally stood up, found a brazier, and lit a lighter. In the end, those blooming, passionate, sincere loves of youth became nothing but ashes. After everything ended, I went back home. Mom still had a stern face. Back then, to marry Anna, I had a huge falling out with my family, almost cutting ties. When I placed the divorce certificate on the table, she finally sighed and patted my head. My eyes were red, my voice choked. I verified that saying with a bloody price. The person your parents don't want you to marry, you definitely shouldn't marry. Smithami's parents lived next door to Anna and often mentioned her recent situation to me. By the way, I met her when I went back to school last time. Smithamy leaned close to me. She was standing in that piano room where you used to play often, wondering what she was thinking. Seeing me, she even asked if you were doing well. I scolded her. I said calmly, "It has nothing to do with me anymore." On the day of the concert, I met Anna at the entrance of the concert hall. We were essentially strangers, but as we passed each other, she suddenly spoke. "Didn't you say you had something to do today?" She actually remembered. After speaking, she seemed to realize what was happening. I said nothing and walked straight past her. For today's concert, I was a special guest. I hadn't been on stage for a long time. The moment the lights went out, I remembered my former self, that confident, free, and spirited self. I took a deep breath and placed my hands on the keys. When the piece ended, the applause was like a tide. Anna sat in the first row, looking straight at me. The Mr. Wong next to her, I knew him. He was a big shot, someone I had contacted using my teacher's connections back then. His hobby was listening to concerts. When the concert ended, I found Anna standing at the door with Mr. Wong. I wanted to bypass them, but unexpectedly, Mr. Wong saw me at a glance. He waved at me. "Billy, you actually performed on stage again. You played very well. That girl Anna didn't even tell me about such a big thing as your comeback." I smiled politely at him. "We are divorced," she didn't know. "Divorced?" Mr. Wong looked at Anna in surprise. "Why divorce?" I stopped smiling and said nothing. "Mr. Wong, the car is here." Anna hurriedly took him to the car. On the way back, I received a message from Anna. Just 2 short words. "Thank you." I replied nothing and blocked all her contact information one by one. My career was back on track, but Anna's career was not peaceful. Later, at every one of my performances, Anna would appear. After the performance, among the celebratory bouquets, there was always a bunch of gardenias. I knew at a glance it was sent by Anna. I didn't take it. Eventually, it was trampled to pieces by the crowd during the group photo. When it ended, I would run into her right at the door. She always watched me from a distance. Once, I used wrong force while playing, and my hand hurt so much it trembled. When I walked out the door clutching my hand, Anna came up to me. "Billy, is your hand okay?" I didn't look at her. "It's fine. It would be even better if you didn't appear." "I know." Her voice was a bit hoarse. "I just missed you too much." She didn't miss me, she was down on her luck. She wanted to say something more, but Mike's angry voice rang out from behind her. "Billy, have some shame, will you? You've already divorced my girlfriend." He rushed in front of me, his figure somewhat disheveled, looking haggard. Anna pulled him. "Why are you here?" Mike looked at her furiously. You look at information about him on your phone every day, how could I not know? Anna's face turned cold. I warned you, I hate it when people go through my phone. I turned to leave, but Mike was relentless. Billy, don't go. I looked back and sneered. First, you knowingly became the third party, shameless. Second, my cheating ex-wife insists on spending money to see my performance, sticking like a plaster. Instead of coming to me, you'd be better off managing your so-called girlfriend. Mike took a step forward but was pulled back by Anna again. Don't think everyone is like you, liking to pick up trash others don't want. After speaking, I walked straight ahead, ignoring them. Behind me came the sound of their argument. Let's go. Don't make a scene here. Anna, what do you mean? He hit me last time and you haven't helped me get back at him. Also, when will you give me a title? I've waited for you for so long. In the summer of the second year, the strongest typhoon made landfall. When I came home, I found Anna waiting at the door. She was carrying a big bag of food, sitting on the steps at the door. Seeing me, she hurriedly stood up. I hadn't seen her for a long time. She had lost a lot of weight, and her whole person looked somewhat defeated. I heard from friends that Anna didn't marry Mike in the end, probably afraid of another asset division if there were changes later. But it had nothing to do with me anymore. Billy. Anna suddenly spoke. I looked down at her. What are you doing here? The typhoon is coming. I was worried about you. I refused calmly, no need. Anna took a step closer to me. I know you were still angry with me, but can you please give me another chance? I wasn't by your side during the last typhoon this time, I want to. Billy. The door suddenly opened, and Jenny walked out. I thought I heard your voice. Why are you standing at the door? Come in quickly, the wind is picking up. She stepped forward to take my bag and continued. I've taped the windows, prepared water and food. In case of a power outage, the power banks are fully charged, and I also prepared emergency lights and fans. After speaking, she finally noticed Anna beside me and asked, "Who is this?" I pursed my lips, suppressing a smile. She did it on purpose. She had secretly loved me for 10 years, how could she not know Anna? My ex-wife. Jenny gave an O of realization and pulled me to her side. Hello, I am his fiancé. May I ask if you have business with my fiancé? When saying fiancé, she emphasized the tone. Anna slowly released her clenched hand, shook her head in silence. I disturbed you. She put down the bag in her hand and walked away silently. Jenny gave Anna's bag of stuff to the neighbor and led me back home. I asked, "Fiancé?" I paused. "Have you thought it through?" She nodded solemnly. I originally thought I would be lonely until old age. Thankfully, heaven gave me a chance. I will cherish every minute and second with you. I will love you every day. Jenny and I were childhood sweethearts. She was the daughter-in-law my mom had set her sights on from the start. We just didn't expect that I would fall in love with Anna later. She was single when I got married, and she was still single when I got divorced. Then she pursued me. After going around in circles, we finally got together. After getting engaged, our wedding was set. One night, I received a call from a stranger. I said hello 2 or 3 times, but no one spoke on the other end. Just as I was about to hang up, Anna's hoarse voice suddenly came from the phone. "Billy," she said, "my stomach hurts." In the past, whenever her stomach hurt and she couldn't sleep, I would massage her gently and coax her to sleep. Her choking voice carried a heavy drunkenness. "Can we go back to the past? I was wrong, I was really wrong. Please forgive me." Just as I wanted to tell her to see a doctor if her stomach hurt, Jenny poked her head out of the bathroom. She still had a mask on her face. "Billy, come put on a mask quickly. We're taking wedding photos tomorrow, we need to be fully prepared." I smiled and answered her, coming right away. Coming back to my senses, the phone had been hung up. In the second year of marriage to Jenny, we had a lovely son named Smith Lang. When our son was 3, we took him to the amusement park. There were too many people. Jenny accompanied me to buy water, while my father waited in place with Lang Lang. But when we returned, my father said they got separated by the crowd. When he turned around, Lang Lang was gone. As we searched in panic, the broadcast sounded, notifying us to go to the service desk. At the service desk, we saw Lang Lang. My father hugged him tightly, wiping tears in self-blame. I asked him how he thought of coming here to wait for Mom and Dad. My son said sweetly, "An auntie brought me here." He turned his head to look. "Huh, where did she go?" The auntie was just here. Following the direction he was looking, I saw Anna's retreating figure. Even after many years, I recognized her at a glance. She was wearing the gray beret I once gave her, and she was shockingly thin. She walked forward with heavy steps, not looking back. I looked away, no longer watching her. Little did I know, that would be the last time I ever saw her. For the school's 100th anniversary, I was invited back. After the celebration, a lawyer classmate who was close to Anna found me. "Billy, Anna?" I interrupted him. "We have nothing to do with each other anymore." He replied, "I know. But before she died, she left a part of her inheritance to you." Anna died of stomach cancer. I kept advising her not to work so desperately and to take care of her health, but she said she couldn't stop. If she stopped, she would have insomnia all night long. Later, she did chemotherapy and surgery, but it didn't help. The doctor said it was because her will to live wasn't very strong. Before she went, she was in so much pain she couldn't breathe, just gasping and calling your name. At this point, he sniffled. I remained silent. She donated a part of the inheritance to the school to fund poor students like she used to be. He looked at the flower bed not far away. Under the sunlight, the gardenias, white as snow, bloomed quietly. Anna planted this patch of gardenias. There was a wishing wall in front of the flower bed. Students wrote their wishes on it, mostly about getting into their ideal universities. At the very top was Anna's handwriting. She wrote, "I want to own a time machine." We stood in front of the wishing wall for a long time. The air was filled with a faint fragrance. Students ran past us for a moment. It felt like returning to the past. The classmate took a document out of his bag and handed it to me. "She left the remaining part of the inheritance to you. You know, she has no other family." I only glanced slightly at the inheritance agreement and said faintly, "Please donate my share to the school as well." Epilogue. When Billy held his wedding, I went secretly. The weather was very good that day. He wore a sharp white suit, tailored perfectly, looking like a prince from a fairy tale. This was the first time I had seen him in formal wear. He was truly handsome. Standing under the arch woven with fresh flowers, he smiled as brightly as the spring sunshine. I remember when I confessed to him, he smiled just like that. He looked at the bride beside him, his voice firm and gentle. He said, "I do." They kissed amidst the cheers of the crowd. I stood in the crowd of onlookers, shedding absurd tears. Originally, he was my groom, but I didn't even accompany him to take wedding photos, let alone a grand wedding like this. He didn't mind at all back then. I was originally very happy. Now, I can only be like a rat in the gutter, peeping at someone else's happiness. Billy's son is as handsome and cute as he was when he was little. The moment I saw him separated by the crowd, I rushed out regardless of everything and grabbed his hand. "Lang Lang, don't be afraid. Auntie will take you to find Daddy." Lang Lang asked in a milky voice. "Auntie, do you know me?" I squatted down and smiled at him. "Auntie not only knows you, but also knows the origin of your name." I led Lang Lang to the service desk. His hand was so small and so soft. Holding it, my heart melted. "Thank you, Auntie." After delivering Lang Lang to the service desk, he smiled sweetly at me. "Can you wait for Daddy with me?" I held back my tears and nodded. Yet, when Billy approached, I hurriedly turned and left. I remembered Billy once smilingly told me, "If it's a boy, let's call him Lang Lang." We forever missed the chance to have a child named Lang Lang. The wind blew past, drying the tears on my face. But it couldn't blow away the regret and pain in my heart. Lying on the hospital bed, every breath felt like sharp needles piercing my abdomen. I kept thinking of Billy. Under the brilliant lights, wearing a silver suit, he was like the brightest star in the night sky. His fingers danced lightly on the keys. The piano sounded clear and beautiful. He was too dazzling, making me want to get close. But he was also too far away. Could I really get close? Would he come to my side? In an instant, I realized The star had truly descended to my side once. I just lost him. How could I have lost him? I want to go back to the past so badly. If I could go back, I would warn the 28-year-old Anna. Cherish the boy who accompanied you out of the darkness, and never betray the total trust he gave you, because those who betray a true heart must swallow 1,000 needles.